As long as I live, I will love you.
Some of Shania Twain's biggest songs take on love and relationships over the past few years. Those topics have become a big part of personal life. But Shania is getting a fresh start, and she joins us once again, talking about her new book, From This Moment On.
I want to read my favorite passage is it deals with your decision to write the letter that you wrote to Marie Ann, who was having your best friend who had an affair, was having an affair with your former husband, Mutt Lange.
Yeah.
And you wrote the letter. You printed here the letter where you basically begged.
Word for word, yeah. You know, it was, I mean, all of this is uncomfortable for me. It's not comfortable to talk about my life. You all know that I've always been very private about my personal life. You know, I did it because I thought there are a lot of people out there that are afraid to express themselves. They're afraid of what other people are going to think. They think they're going to be embarrassed. They think it's going to damage their career. They think it's going to hurt the immediate people around them. And so they just keep it all inside. And I thought, if anyone's going to benefit from my life and my story and everything that I've gone through, I've got to give them testimony. And there's no shame in that. And I want them to know that there's no shame in that. It's important. So, of course, it's embarrassing to put that in there.
The way you word it is what I like about it, because you say you feel so liberated now that you can laugh at yourself, to laugh even at what once made me cry, to be able to say that I've grown and progressed towards a new way of looking at things. It's like being able to admit that you were the one who farted. Just laughed out loud.
Yeah, but it is so true. I really feel that way very genuinely. I mean, obviously, I wrote the book, and it's me speaking, and it was liberating entirely anyway, because writing is the way I express myself best. So that worked very well for me. Like I always say, it wasn't difficult to write the book. It's difficult to share it with the public. Okay, so that's where the challenge is. But I thought, you know, I'm not going to get the most out of this, and neither are the people that I'm sharing it with, unless I'm brutally honest and frank. And you know, the truth is uncomfortable.
You've had the support, obviously, of your husband Fred throughout this whole process. What was Mutt Lange's reaction and your friends' reaction when they knew that you were going to write about this?
It's upsetting to some people. I think I think a natural concern. You know, if I know somebody's going to write about me, then I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I wonder what they're going to say about me. And I think that that's natural. I expected that. And I got a lot of support from the immediate people around me. I shared a lot of it with some people around me. I let a lot of people read it over and over again. Not because I was afraid, but because I wanted to be responsible and respectful about what I was saying. And that, you know, I had written 3 times that amount volume, and I had to reduce it just for the sake of practicality. And that is also how I decided what to cut out. I think there is a fine line as I start the book off. You know, I have secrets like everybody else. Of course, I'm not going to share every single thing about my life, and I wouldn't share every single thing about anybody else's life. I wanted to get the point across, be honest in what I decided to include, without hurting anyone. There's a greater good here, and purpose behind sharing the book with the public. And I had to keep that, reminding myself of that all the time, and say, look, you know what, for your own upset, or the few other people that might be upset, you know, you got to put yourself aside and think, what is the greater good really, and who's going to benefit from this? Who is currently struggling through all of these things that maybe they might find inspiration.
The level of betrayal that you suffered, though, was really quite something. I mean, it's one thing for somebody to have an affair. It's quite another when, in your position, you're confiding in this person and telling them, I think my husband's having an affair, and she's saying, no, of course, you're imagining things. And in fact, it was her all along.
Because
so I wanted to ask you how you managed to overcome that, and you know, you're married, and you're happy, you're glowing. I mean,
you have to work through it. You got to get angry for a while. It's a grieving process. So you get angry, you get sad, you get desperate. You go through all these really terrible things, and you have to let them all out, express them. And for the first time in my life, I was really managing to do that. And if I hadn't, I think it would have killed me, honestly. I would have died of a broken heart, I guess. You know, you hear that all the time. And I had to work through it. It's as simple as that. Writing the book was a part of working through it. Doing the television series was a part of working through it.
Sure.
Allowing myself to love again was part of working through it as well, because that was completely not on, not even a remote possibility for me for a while. I'm like, oh no, I was not even going there. And you eventually get to the point where you start opening up again, and I opened up further than I had ever in my life, and that allowed so many beautiful things to come in. It's almost like I really had to get down there bad in order to realize that when I came up for air, I was ready to just gasp it all in and take life in as much as I could.
So now you're working on your voice. You mentioned so that you could sing again. You can. What about the show? Now tell us about the show that you're on. What that's like.
Well, the filming of the series is a documentary of going through the course of my life from the very beginning. And Fred and my sister Carrie take the journey with me to support me, because trust me, there were a lot of scary things that happened during the filming of it. Just, again, like sharing the book with the public, I just took myself out of my comfort zone a lot during the series, which was the whole point. And they were there to remind me of why I was doing it, the purpose, and not to quit, basically, and turn around and change my mind.
We've only touched the tip of the iceberg. It's all in here. Shania's in the book from this moment on. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thanks for having
It's great
me.
to see you.
Thank you.
The photographs in here are fantastic. Was it difficult to find shots of you? Because you say the